Welcome back, everybody, to the Cleveland Guardians franchise here on MLB The Show 22. We have made it to the World Series, and we are 4 wins away from becoming the champions of baseball. The only team standing in our way is the Colorado Rockies in one of the most unlikely World Series matchups you will ever see. Both of these teams won under 90 games in the regular season. Both teams on paper did not stack up as one of the best teams in their respective conferences. But here we are. These are the two teams fighting to be the world champions in the 2024 season. It's been quite the road here for the Cleveland Guardians, who won Game 6 in Chicago in unbelievable fashion, 11-7 in 10 innings. We were down 7-1 going into the 7th inning. We were down 7-3 going into the 9th, but a 9th inning grand slam by Dansby Swanson and 4 more runs in the 10th inning helped propel us to victory. Max Fried got the start. He did not pitch great, but the bullpen pretty much won us the game, whereas on the other side, it was the total opposite. Dylan Cease was great for the White Sox, and his bullpen blew it. As we go into the World Series, we will be making one change to the postseason roster. Alex Vesia will be activated, and Will Benson will be demoted. I think we could use an extra lefty arm in the bullpen, and we didn't really use Benson too much during the ALCS. So as we go into the World Series, I think the team is in a good spot. We've won 2 consecutive extra inning games against the Chicago White Sox. The pitching, for the most part, has been good. The offense, although inconsistent, does have some momentum after an amazing end to Game 6 against Chicago. On paper, I think we are the better team than Colorado, but you should not sleep on the Rockies. They will give us a bang for our buck, without a doubt, going into this World Series. Taking a deeper look into our opponent, the Rockies have been really good throughout the postseason, but they were not great in the regular season. They only won 88 games. They're the 22nd ranked team in the game, and even though we were the second wild card in the American League, we had a better record than them by 1 game, so we do have home field advantage. They trailed Milwaukee 2-1 in the NLDS and have not looked back. They obviously beat the Brewers. They beat the Mets in 5, including going 3-0 at Citi Field to clinch the National League. This team doesn't have all-stars galore in their lineup, but they get guys on base, and they have really good situational hitting. They're one of the best clutch teams in baseball. And again, the rotation doesn't have any elite players. Freddie Peralta is the ace. He's been really good. They've got plenty of talented arms in the bullpen. This is not a star-studded team. Tim Anderson, who's good, is their highest-rated player, but they're a deep roster. They have winning players, and I think it's going to be a really competitive series. I could definitely see it going 6 or 7 games, so hopefully we can set the tone here, particularly these first couple of games at home. We're only going to be playing Game 1 today because it is the first game of the World Series. I felt like it deserved its own episode, but next episode we're probably going to go back to the multiple game format. All right, here we go. Game 1 of the 2024 World Series at Progressive Field in Cleveland. The Guardians are back for the first time in 8 years. The Rockies are back for the first time in 17 years. Both of these teams do not have winning as a large part of their history. Cleveland has only won 2 World Series in their organization and have not done it since 1948. That was 76 years ago. You think that's bad, though? The Colorado Rockies have never won the World Series, and they have only made it once, which again was back in 2007 when they got swept by the Boston Red Sox. Both of these teams don't really know what it's like to win a championship, so it should be fun seeing one of these franchises who normally finds themselves at the bottom of the standings at the top once and for all. Here's a look at both lineups. Regular starters across the board. Zane Rowley hitting leadoff for Cleveland today. He's played so well as of recently, the Guardians wanted to reward him by putting him at the top of the order. The ace of the staff, Shane Bieber, will be starting here in Game 1 for Cleveland. In 4 postseason starts this year, he's averaged over 6 innings per contest, 2.59 ERA, .95 whip. He has done everything an ace should do in the postseason. We'll see what he can do here as Tim Anderson leads the game off with a walk. So the former White Sox shortstop, he's played against Cleveland a lot, is aboard. Chuka Chakanawara, the young second baseman, singles up the middle. All right, the World Series fun is over. Now let's get down to business. The Rockies get their first 2 runners aboard. Can Brendan Rodgers drive him in as he grounds it up the middle? Nice play by Swanson. Throw to first is in time. And despite leading the inning off with 2 early base runners, the Rockies will not drive anybody home. Good job by Shane Bieber to get out of the jam. On the bump for Colorado will be Freddie Peralta. He is their ace of the staff, and he has also been very good in the playoffs, making his 4th postseason start. 2.04 ERA, 1.47 whip. It's been really, really good the past couple of seasons for the Rockies as Jesus Sanchez strikes out on the slider. Sanchez has been fantastic in the playoffs, but has cooled off a little bit in recent games, particularly against the White Sox. Ketel Marte draws a walk, so he is aboard. Cleveland's lineup does not have many guys who have played in the World Series. The only one is Jose Ramirez, who was a rookie back when Cleveland made it in 2016. Josh Bell goes down looking on the slider, so Freddie Peralta gets through the first inning with no problem. Nobody scores there in the first inning. We'll see if either team can set the tone offensively here in the second. Randall Grichuk leads it off of the Rockies. He swings and misses of a high heat, a cutter way up and out of the zone. Great pitch by Bieber for his first strikeout of the game. Dimeji Odiemi is up for Colorado. He'll draw a walk on the slider, so the Rockies get another base runner. They've gotten guys aboard. Here's Colson Montgomery. Weak grounder over to second. Marte's going to try to turn 2. Instead, Cleveland turns 0. It's an infield single for Montgomery. And again, Colorado has 2 runners aboard. This is one of the best clutch teams in baseball, but so far today, they haven't been so. Tim Anderson looking to change that as he hits it well into left center, and it is caught at the wall. What a great play in left field by the 19-year-old rookie outfielder Zane Rowley coming in to make the play. So Cleveland gets through the inning. Colorado gets a couple more base runners, but they don't do anything with them. Bottom 2, here's for Franmil. Franmil Reyes up with 1 away. He's had his ups and downs throughout the postseason. He has played a little bit better lately, but he does strike out looking there on the fastball. Peralta with his 3rd K of the day. 2 away now, it's Dansby Swanson. The 3-2, and he hits it well into left center. That'll go for Cleveland's first base hit of the game. Swanson, of course, was the Game 6 hero in the ALCS with the go-ahead grand slam in the 9th inning to tie the game up off of Liam Hendricks. Manuel Margot is up for the Guardians. He swings and misses, chasing the low slider early. Another good inning for Peralta. Both pitchers are looking pretty good as neither team is yet to get onto the board. Here in the top of the 3rd, Chris Bryant lines it into left. Rowley makes another nice play. Zane Rowley's not known for his defense, but he has a couple nice catches early in this ballgame. Bottom 3, Luis Campusano checks his swing on the slider. Peralta with another strikeout. That is his 5th in the ballgame. Zane Rowley now up for Cleveland. He's been producing very well as of recent for the Guardian offense as he gets hit by the pitch and will reach base. So the 19-year-old is aboard. That'll bring up Jesus Sanchez, who grounds it to short. Anderson tags the bag, throws out the runner at first. Another scoreless inning. This is turning into a pitcher's duel here in Game 1. Shane Bieber and Freddie Peralta both looking locked in for their respective teams. Into the 4th inning we go. Brendan Rodgers goes down on the circle change. Good pitch there by Bieber, only his 2nd strikeout of the game. Hasn't gotten a lot of swing and miss pitches. The Rockies are putting the ball in play, but they haven't been consistently hitting the ball well. There's another strikeout for Bieber, his 3rd of the ball game, looking to strike out the side. Not going to do that, as Dimeji Odiemi will actually single up the middle into center field. So again, the Rockies have another base runner. It's only a matter of time, you've got to think, until they capitalize. This team hits really well with runners on base. Colson Montgomery with a weak ground to first. Bell will tag the runner. Inning over. 4 scoreless for Shane Bieber, pitching in the biggest game of his life. And the moment does not look too big for the Shane train. Bottom 4, Josh Bell is up for the Guardians, and he gets hit. 2nd consecutive inning, a Cleveland batter has gotten hit by a pitch. So he is aboard here for Franmil Reyes, who's finished top 2 in AL MVP voting 2 years in a row. As he flies this one high and not all that deep into left center. Should be caught, and it will. Another scoreless inning. Are we going to get any runs today? Both teams are getting guys on base, but they're having a really tough time driving them in. Into the 5th we go. Tim Anderson draws a walk. Bieber's pitch count is rising quickly. He is at 85 pitches now. He's performed so well today, but that pitch count might be too high to keep him in for much longer as Anderson steals 2nd. Now the Rockies are the runner in scoring position here for Chris Bryant. He was on that 2016 Cubs team, who of course beat Cleveland in the World Series. Bryant actually won the NL MVP that season as he flies out to right, caught by Manuel Margot. Through 5 innings, Bieber fever is rocking here in Cleveland. Maybe the offense can start to get rocking soon, I don't know. Bottom 5th, 1 away, it's Manuel Margot with a blast into left center field. And the scoreless drought is over. We finally have runs here in the World Series. A solo home run by Manuel Margot, his first of the postseason, going 431 feet. Maybe not the guy you would expect to break the scoreless drought, but here we are. Manny Margot will put Cleveland on the board as it is now 1-0. A no-doubter. What a swing by Margot as we look at this beauty again. He knew it was gone as soon as it hit the bat. Margot staring at it, watching it fly with an A-plus bat toss towards the dugout. That'll bring up Luis Campusano with 1 away, grounded to short. Anderson looking to make the play, and the throw to first is offline. Colorado's starting to lose some steam. They allow the home run. Now they get an error. Things are really looking up for Cleveland. That'll bring up the young Zane Rowley. Reached base in his last at-bat, and he's going to reach again. Rowley hits this one into the opposite field for extra bases. Zane Rowley's 19 years old, but he is the approach of the 13-year veteran. The way he can hit to the opposite field is really, really impressive for any major leaguer, let alone a friggin' teenager. Runners on scoring position for Jesus Sanchez. He strikes out. Huge pitch by Peralta. The Rockies needed a jolt, and now Cleveland's going to need a base hit to drive in these runs. It's Ketel Marte, the 2-2, swinging and a miss. He goes down in the low curveball. So Cleveland leaves some runners on base. You feel like they could have gotten more, but at least they're on the board with the home run by Manuel Margot as it's 1-0. Into the 6th inning, Sancho Andrade goes down on the fastball. Andrade acquired at the deadline from the Minnesota Twins in a very puzzling move by Minnesota. I don't really know why they traded him. That'll bring up Brendan Rodgers, a former top prospect with the Rockies organization. Never developed into a star, but he has been a consistent starter for the team for a number of seasons as he singles into left field. So Rodgers is aboard with 1 away. Bieber's pitch count is now in the triple digits. Cleveland hoping they can get some more out of him as they're going to turn the double play. 6-4-3. Good work there by the Cleveland infield. 6 scoreless innings for Shane Bieber. Does he have any more in him? Or is that going to be it for the ace? Freddie Peralta's night is done after 5 innings. Justice Sheffield is in for Colorado. He's allowed 6 runs in 6 innings of work so far in the playoffs as he strikes out Josh Bell on the sinker. Good pitch to start the inning for the lefty. Cleveland has some guys who can hit lefties really well, including these switch hitters, Bell and Jose Ramirez, but neither of them are looking great as they strike out. Will Franmil Reyes go down on strikes as well? Yes, he will. Justice Sheffield strikes out the side, and it remains 1-0 through 6. Cleveland has the lead, but certainly not convincingly. Into the 7th, it's Colson Montgomery who hits it well into right, off the foul pole, and gone. Cleveland wanted to get another inning out of Shane Bieber, and I think they might have got a little greedy. Montgomery with his first home run of the postseason. Again, an unlikely hero for the Colorado Rockies. Acquired in a trade a couple of seasons ago from the White Sox, former first-round pick. And this game is knotted up at 1 apiece, and from there, Shane Bieber will be taken out of the game as manager Giovanni Cabrera is going to come out and take him out of this game. Shane Bieber receiving a well-deserved applause as he goes to the dugout. 6 1/3 innings, only 1 run allowed. He pitched his balls off today. Now, his run support hasn't given him a whole lot, but he certainly did his share of the job today. Replacing him will be Camilo Doval, Cleveland's best reliever. He did have a rough outing back in Game 5 against the White Sox, allowing multiple runs in the 8th inning. Cleveland still was able to win that game. Doval pitched a lot better in Game 6, and we know what he is capable of as he strikes out the young catcher, Harry Ford, another first-rounder, but from the Seattle Mariners organization. Tim Anderson now up, hits this one high and deep and a left with 2 away, off the top of the wall. That's going to be a double for Tim Anderson. And the Rockies have the runner in scoring position as they look to possibly take the lead for the first time today. Chakanawara is up for Colorado. He goes down looking on a slider right down the middle. I don't know what type of pitch he was looking for. Not a fantastic inning. Cleveland allows a run, but I guess it could have been worse. We've got ourselves a ball game tied at 1 going into the bottom of the 7th. Justice Sheffield still in as he faces off against Dansby Swanson, who crushes it into left center. Off the wall. Swanson will waltz into second, walking the red carpet for a double. So Cleveland is a runner in scoring position with nobody out as they look to get this lead right back. And while Margot, who homered earlier today, draws a walk, that's 2 runners on base with nobody out. That'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Luis Campusano, who'll be substituted out for the lefty killer, Ramon Ramiro, in his first World Series at bat. He singles into left field. So now the bases are loaded with nobody out and the top of the order due up. What an opportunity for Zane Rowley, and it looks like he will capitalize as this one will go into right, dropping into the gap. 1 run scores, 2 runs score. Can Ramiro make it 3? Yes, he will. A bases clearing double for Zane Rowley. He'll drive in 3 runs. The dugout is fired up as Cleveland takes a 4-1 lead. And Sheffield will be taken out of the game, removed for another lefty, Tanner Tully, a former member of the Guardians organization, as he faces off against Jesus Sanchez, who's been pretty bad today, 0 for 3. Grounds it to short. Anderson with a nice play. Throw to first is in time. So the Rockies finally get an out here in what has been a disaster of the bottom of the 7th inning for those guys so far. From there, Ketel Marte will be intentionally walked. The Rockies are hoping to set a force out at first, second, and third base as they look to get Josh Bell here on the ground ball. Well, Bell's ball hits the ground, but it'll go into the outfield for a base hit. Zane Rowley will score. It's an RBI single for Josh Bell, and the Guardians now lead 5-1. Zane Rowley has driven in or scored all 4 runs in this inning. Pretty impressive stuff. That'll bring up Jose Ramirez now, hitting from the right side of the plate with a big opportunity to close the door tonight as he flies it into right field. Should be caught by Odiemi, and it will. Marte looking to tag up to third. The throw is an absolute beauty, and they got him. Ketel Marte gunned down to end the inning, but Cleveland scores 4, and they lead 5-1 going into the 8th inning. Zane Rowley with a bases-clearing 3-run double, and Josh Bell finishing it off with an RBI single. Camilo Doval remains in the game for Cleveland as he allows a walk to start the inning to Chris Bryant. That'll bring up Sancho Andrade, who grounds it to third. Ramirez to Ramiro to Bell. 5, 4, 3 double play. The Guardians turn 2. They can taste a Game 1 victory right on their fingertips. Brendan Rodgers goes down looking on the fastball. A nice inning for Camilo Doval. Not technically a 1-2-3 inning, but he did face off against only 3 batters. That'll bring us to the bottom of the 8th inning as Cleveland looks to finish this game off for good, possibly adding some insurance runs against Robert Stevenson. 5 2/3 innings in the postseason for him. He has an ERA of 4.76, allowing 3 runs as he will walk Franmil Reyes to lead things off. The Rockies cannot afford to allow any more runs. They're already down by 4. The young catcher, Eliezer Alfonso, in his first World Series at bat, singles into left. The 3 rookies, Ramiro, Alfonso, and Rowley, all look really solid here in their World Series debuts. The moment is not too big for them. Manuel Margot strikes out on the slider. Good strikeout for Stevenson. That'll bring up Ramon Ramiro, who had a base hit and scored in the previous inning. Grounds out one to third. Going to be a tough play for Bryant. He tries to get the out at second and cannot. So the bases are loaded again. And guess who's up to the plate? It's Zane Rowley, who had a 3-run double in his last at-bat. Can the young man do it again? Yes, he will, as Rowley hits that one over the glove of Tim Anderson. 1 run scores, a second will join. It's an RBI, actually a 2-run single for Zane Rowley, who has driven in 5 of Cleveland's 7 runs tonight, and it's now 7-1. What an unbelievable display of hitting by Zane Rowley, just 19 years old in his World Series debut. Ryan Nelson will come out of the bullpen for the Rockies, replacing Stevenson. He's allowed 2 runs in an inning and a third in the playoffs as he strikes out Jesus Sanchez. Sanchez is now 0 for 5. He looks lost at the plate right now, although I can't say that about the rest of the team. Ketel Marte hits it well to short, caught by Tim Anderson. So through 8 innings, Cleveland leads big 7-1. Most of Cleveland's stars haven't been great tonight. Josh Bell has an RBI, but everybody else, Ramirez, Reyes, Marte, Sanchez, they have not been good. It's the other guys, Swanson, Rowley, Ramiro, Margot. Those are the guys producing tonight at the plate. So Dylan Tate will come into the game to finish it off. He's allowed 2 runs and 8 postseason innings so far. Continues to be a great trade deadline acquisition, but he does allow an early single to Randall Grichuk. So the Rockies get a base runner aboard. Cleveland certainly can't put the pedal off the metal quite yet, even though they're up big. Here's Odiemi. He threw out a runner earlier tonight. Strikes out on the slider for the first out of the inning. 2 gone now. That'll bring up Harry Ford. He gets plunked. So Ford is aboard. Hey, that rhymed. 2 on, 2 out for Tim Anderson. Swing and a miss on the sinker. The Cleveland Guardians are 3 wins away from becoming world champions as they defeat the Rockies 7-1 here in Game 1. I think the game was closer than the score suggested. Our offense did really struggle for most of this contest, but we produced late. We got a ton of runners on base in the latter innings of this game. And Zane Rowley, man, what a job from him, driving in 5 runs in the final 2 innings to help propel us to the win. Camilo Duvall gets the win. Justice Sheffield takes the loss. 7 runs, 10 hits for the Guardians. 1 run, 7 hits for Colorado. I think the big difference was both starting pitchers were great, but our bullpen was phenomenal. Theirs, not so much. They kind of blew what was a great start from Freddie Peralta, who only allowed 1 run in 5 innings of work. And the bullpen just kind of pissed on it and flushed it down the toilet. Colorado's offense was not great. Their only runs coming off a home run by Colson Montgomery. They're going to need more from their offense. They really struggled today with runners on base, which is really their MO, but not so much today. And then again, Freddie Peralta was great, but the other guys not so much. Sheffield and Stevenson in particular, they were the guys who allowed the runs out of the Colorado bullpen. As for Cleveland, again, I don't think our offense was great today. Great situational hitting in the final couple of innings, but the Stars really did not play well. Sanchez 0 for 5. Marte didn't get a hit. Ramirez, Reyes, those guys did not get on base. It was the other guys who produced. We'll talk more about Zane Rowley specifically in a minute, but Swanson, Margot, Ramiro, those guys, they really played well. Shane Bieber was excellent as well. 6 1/3 innings, only allowing 1 run. I don't want to take anything away from him. And then the bullpen did great as well. Obviously, the biggest storyline, however, is the play of Zane Rowley, who balled out today, reaching base 4 times with 3 hits and 5 RBIs. Rowley made his big league debut in September, not even 2 months ago, and he is continuing to earn a full-time starting position in this lineup. What we've done in the outfield throughout the playoffs is rotate our 4 guys. Jesus Sanchez has started every game, but Rowley, Valera, and Margot have all been rotated in the other outfield spots. But with how Zane Rowley is playing, I don't see any reason for us to sit him at all going forward. He struggled early on against the Yankees. I thought the moment might be too big for him, which I would completely understand. He's 19 years old. He's been in the majors for a month, but he just needed a little time to get his groove. He started to hit the ball better against Chicago. Game 5, he hit the walk-off. Game 6, he was clutch late. And obviously in Game 1 of the World Series, he drove in 5 runs in the final couple innings of the game to help us win 7-1. So hopefully Zane Rowley can continue this because, man, he is looking good. If we hypothetically do win the World Series, I know that's a long way away, but if it does happen, and if it's because of Zane Rowley, if he wins World Series MVP, that's going to mean a 19-year-old wins World Series MVP. That is freaky. Hope everybody enjoyed the episode. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Next time around, we've got Game 2 at home and then Game 3 on the road at Coors. Should be a lot of fun. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Peace out.